Hello, elegant listeners, and welcome to Go, my favorite sports team. I'm here in an undisclosed location because sports is becoming dangerous for me. I'm getting too knowledgeable, and that's what happens when you listen to this podcast. You become a wanted man and or woman and or anything in between. So, you know who also is wanted? Tyler!
I am?
He's a wanted man.
That's news to me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Today we get to talk about something that is way past due, but is kicking off the new season of Go, my favorite sports team, which I still don't understand why seasons exist with podcasts.
I don't either.
Yeah, they're just always like, this is a season, you should have another season.
It's like falling into the same cadence that TV used to do it. So like a lot of TV people do podcasts, so it's like, and a lot of people who do ads for them also do kind of the same thing. So it's it very much becomes that.
Do you think it might have to do with the fact that they don't want to have episode 250 instead of season 5 episode this?
I don't know. If there was anything like the organizational systems that you need to have into these like online platforms, it don't matter.
Who knows? But are we allowed to talk about the Oscars, Mark?
Why wouldn't we be?
I don't know. I was just curious how you got swept away and missed the red carpet.
Yeah. I had a whole diagram, but I can explain it more in talking terms than I did with stupid diagrams.
Yeah.
The security is nuts. I'll tell you this much. Security is very, very intense because there was like some other things around it. Politically, there's some threats made. And so I don't know if this was a step up in security or if it was like normal, because they need a lot of security for all the celebrities that are coming in there. So we had to drive in to Hollywood Boulevard from a couple blocks down. So this was almost like 4 or 5 blocks down. That's where the entrance was. And it's only if we have this pass, we only can get in there if we have that. And then we go in checkpoints down the way to, as we're still in the car, we drive and there's cops there that stop you and they're just like, hold here and wait to go to the next stop, just hold here and wait, and then you're going to go over there and you're going to lower all the windows, open the trunk, open the hood of the car, and then turn off the whole car. And then a dog comes around and sniffs for bombs or weapons. And then we go to the next stage, which is weaving through serpentine pattern, these concrete blockades. And then we get into the actual entrance, which is the intersection of Hollywood Boulevard and some street that I can't remember the name of, but it's all cordoned off. It's all big fake bushes and then red carpet, and then there's all these drapes. It's very pretty. It's very cool. And so when we go in here, it's like, this is interesting. Well, we have our tickets, and I've been to events like this before, and I go up in there. And so, yes, all the carpet's red, and we scan our passes, and we go and we get funneled in here, and we're going funneled. And then there's some person that comes up and knows my name, and that's not uncommon. Someone says like, Mark, I work with the event, I work with the Oscars, and we've been told to take really good care of you. And so they're like, I'm like, I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Do I get extra snacks or something? Like,
no, honestly, they don't have them. They had food there, but it was like not enough. They come in little trays and little bites, and I ate a lot of that, but it still wasn't that much food. But she says, take really good care. She handed us off. We were in the line to go onto the walk, the step and repeat, and there was this door off to the side, right? There's this door that is unmarked. The person that gets handed off also has an iPad and is like, yes, we're just going to take really good care of you. And Amy and I were like, we're good to wait. We don't want to cut in line, or we didn't know what they were like,
right.
getting at. But they're like, no, don't worry. It's a whole path. It's completely for you. You can go this way and you'll go around. It'll be fine. And I'm like, okay. So we go through the door. There's someone else on the other side. And so the red carpet is 2 parallel paths, right? The one where you step and repeat is where all the photographers and the camera people are. The other way is the back path where there's basically nobody, but it's a clean shot all the way up. And then we just went that way. And so by the time we get to the end of it, it was like, we missed it all. Well, that was weird, but we didn't think anything of it. And it was kind of just like, I guess this is what we were supposed to do. I mean, it was only until we got to the YouTube rep, Fede, I told him like, we missed it because, they pulled us aside, and he goes, well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Or he didn't say that. He said it would have been good if the press knew you were here. And I was like, I didn't know. I'll go back. Like, I'm pretty sure I could have gone back. I don't know.
If it was still going, I mean, it seems like that takes a while. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on that.
Yeah. But, it is what it is. Nothing else crazy going on. That just is what it is, so.
Yeah.
Who knows?
They were scared you were too popular.
Obviously.
All the media are just huge fans, huge Markiplier fans, just secretly.
It's not good for the Oscars when someone popular goes down there, I'm sure.
No. Somebody super famous and popular, never.
But it is too crowded there. I will say the Dolby Theater, it seats like 3,400 people. It felt like it. It's way a lot of people that get in there. And especially like the after party, the Gold Governor's Ball. It was a lot, so.
Didn't we sell it out when we did the Dolby?
I have no idea.
I think we did.
Maybe.
We had a lot of friends and family there, that's for sure. That was that crazy show that we had to redo the entire intro.
That was a good one.
That was also the part where we lost the bus footage of Bob going off.
Oh, yeah. The infamous bus footage.
The infamous bus footage. Man, lost forever.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's not lost forever? The Winter Olympics and the gold medals that came with, as long as they're still intact, because they were having some issues. A bunch of gold medals were breaking.
I heard they were a little shoddy.
Yeah, so there was a design flaw, but it was also a design meant for it, all right? Because they made it so that, one, medals used to be a handheld thing. It wasn't until relatively recent that it was like, oh, they go around the winner's necks. And so there's always been a debate about how to do the ribbon and connect it to the medal. So what has become commonplace is not drilling a hole in it, because people were like, oh, that's ugly. It doesn't look right. It doesn't sit right. So they created these two halves. Italy wanted to do something where it would release, so if somebody accidentally got it tugged on or something, basically to protect from strangulation. It was a safety measure. But unfortunately, that latch was not secure enough, so the metal just would fall off.
Is that enough of a risk that people would need that?
That's also what I was confused about when I was reading the article. I was like, do people actively get strangulated with their own medals?
I don't know. I mean, people have had medals, not even just the Olympics, around their necks a long time, necklaces and whatnot. You would think that you would want to secure rather than not, so I don't know.
Yeah, so one of the most obvious incidents where the medal came apart was when German biathlete Justice Strelo's medal came loose mid-celebration and had to reattach it with cameras and teammates looking at them. And then Alysa Liu won the medal, and she just showed it without the ribbon because it had fallen off. And she jokingly in an Instagram post showed it and said, "My medal don't need the ribbon."
Okay.
Very obvious issues, but the International Olympic Committee has been replacing and repairing medals since all of these had started happening and trying to make sure that there weren't any other issues moving forward. But again, the main theories are either manufacturing issues or design flaw, as it was two halves put together, which was supposed to represent like the athlete's accomplishments, but then also acknowledging the family and all the support that exists with it, and then the piece that was the release piece that stayed together.
How many medals do they have every Olympics?
Well, it would be 3 times each event, right?
At least, yeah, depending on the team events.
There were a total of 740 medals awarded across 116 events.
Damn.
Yeah. With the United States beating their record for the Winter Olympics with 12 gold, and Norwegian having the most gold medals with 18. And a total of 41 medals for Norway and 33 for the U.S.
Damn.
We had Olympic gold in women's ice hockey, men's ice hockey. I think that's the first time that both the men and women's team have won gold. The men's first time in a long time. Freestyle skiing, they had mixed team aerials. Freestyle skiing, men's halfpipe. Figure skating, women's singles, which was Alysa Liu. Phenomenal skater, by the way. Alpine skiing was Michaela Schifrin. Bobsled, which was women's monobob. Speed skating, Jordan Stoltz. Freestyle skiing, Elizabeth Lemley. Speed skating, 1,000 meter was Jordan Stolz again. Alpine skiing downhill, Breezy Johnson. Figure skating mixed team gold as well.
Yeah, there was I saw the what was her name, the American skater that won gold for the skating.
Alysa Liu?
Yeah. So there was, I want to ask you about this, not because I think this, but because some people were saying like, oh, well, it's because there weren't Russian skaters at the Olympics that, you know. And I saw the performance. I don't know if we talked about this before, but I saw the performance. Excuse me. Oh my God. I saw the performance and it was awesome. It was magnificent in terms, and I don't know skating that well. And I know that on a technical level, there weren't that like quadruple axles in it. I don't think she did a single quad, right?
No, her difficulty level wasn't, I don't think, the highest in the event, but
her skate was impeccable and fun to watch. I have not had many skating routines that I look at and they go like, wow, that was a really good performance. And I think that's what that was. But there are some grumblings out there that was like, well, if the technically excellent Russian skaters were there, it would have been a different story. But what is that about?
yeah, it's more or less that the Russians have been significantly banned from ice skating because of the issues that occurred with judge tampering in the past, which there was debates that happened with the French relatively in this Milan games. So, it was couples skate. I don't remember which skate it was, but there was a significant discrepancy from one particular judge who was the French judge. The U.S. skater score versus the French score that they gave. They gave the lowest of all the people for the American team and then the highest of all the people for the French team. It was interesting. The Russian skaters have long been very, very good. They're very technical. They're very sound. I don't think they have the same beauty in the skate that Alysa Liu had. And the reason I think she has such a fun skate and entertaining skate is she actually quit the sport. She quit the sport because of how much pressure there was, how many different things. And the reason she was convinced to return, and the only reason she returned, she's like, if I'm going to come back, I'm going to skate for me and I'm going to skate to have fun. And so that is what I think was shown in that particular skate. And what stood out the most is like she was smiling and having a blast throughout the entire thing. And it was just wonderful to watch.
Yeah, it was just wonderful to watch. And I think that is important because it's not just about doing technically difficult things in my mind. It's about what the overall execution of it. Because if the whole point is to skate good and put on a good performance, because it's a judge-based sport, it's a panel of judges that are judging on not just technical like difficulty, but execution thereof, then yeah, I believe there is totally a path to do like slightly technically less things, but to such a level, that it's actually the best performance of the night. So, and that was by far.
I also think there's something to be said of making it look easy and smooth and elegant. And that was the thing that really showcased in hers. You didn't see these like her out of breath, breathing real hard, although what she was doing was incredibly difficult, but it just had this like elegance to it and dance. It's like ballet dancers. They're meant to try and not show how difficult the stuff they do is, but it is intense, and the amount of muscles that are straining and burning and all of that throughout, it's the same thing that you kind of aim for with figure skating.
Yeah, absolutely.
That one was a big standout for me. In other news, there's a couple of things that stood out that also the Olympic Committee got criticized for. One in particular was they were selling the 1936 Berlin Games t-shirt in the store. Now, this particular t-shirt was the Berlin Games when Hitler was in charge in Germany, and Germany was upset about it, and it was used as a propaganda point for the Nazi regime.
Yeah, why were they selling this in the store?
So BBC's told that while it, of course, acknowledges the historical issues of propaganda, it also wanted to remember that the Berlin 1939 Games saw 4,483 athletes from 49 countries compete in 149 events. And they made the Olympic Heritage Collection available to the public to celebrate 130 years of Olympic art and design. So for this series, emblems, pictograms, posters, mascots from all editions of the Olympic Games were featured.
They couldn't have picked a different year.
Yeah, the thing is, I guess all the Olympic Games was the key thing.
Well, I'd have to see the shirt. Do you have the shirt?
Yes. So this is the shirt.
Uh-huh. Did they sell every year of shirt?
That's the question I don't have. According to that, they kept like every shirt. So
okay, so if they sold every year of the shirt, then I'm like, okay, then yeah, I get that it's a historical collection of it, I could kind of see that because it did happen. The Olympics were there, and there were some historically important moments in those Olympics, like the black athletes that was that the one?
Yep. Jesse Owens.
Yeah, Jesse Owens and the other guy who won third or second. I can't remember.
I don't remember. There were also Jewish Americans that were competing in the Olympics as well.
It is a historic Olympics to remember. And I look at that design and I'm like, I guess it's not celebrating Hitler's Olympics. it's just the 36 Olympic Games that were in Berlin.
Correct. There is some symbolism in here. So it is a male figure wearing a laurel wreath over his head. Olympic rings underneath him is the Brandenburg Gate and the words Germany, Berlin, 1936 Olympics, as we saw. But the big thing was why the Olympics were in Germany was Hitler really wanted to promote his ideals and show it on the international stage, glorifying Germany. And Germany, by the way, was the one who was absolutely like, this needs to be removed. We don't want this. Get rid of this.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, that would be their call.
If anyone had a call, it would be their call.
In other news, the new hotness in running. Have you heard about this?
I have not heard about this.
The newest, bestest trend, the biggest reason for you to go running today, tonight, tomorrow morning, whenever. But when you go, make sure you got some cream on ya. Butter runs! Butter runs are the new hotness!
What?
Butter runs! You ever heard of this?
I have not.
Never been on a butter run? You seem like a butter run kind of guy, let's be honest.
Are you trying to say that because I put on weight? Is that why, Mark?
Yep, that's exactly it. No, dumb, stupid. It's not that. Butter runs are a trend that is going around on the internet where people go out on runs and they have a bag of cream, heavy cream, in their backpack or their water bladder or whatever it is. And by running, they are churning the cream into butter. And some people get fascinated by this concept. But yes, this is how you turn it into cream. And not just the butter, but that liquid left over. Guess what that is?
Milk?
Buttermilk.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how you make buttermilk as well. You separate the butter from the buttermilk, and then you can have some people let the buttermilk ferment a little bit, but yeah, it's...
How far did they run for it actually to churn enough to become butter and buttermilk? Because naturally churning butter, surprisingly with electronic equipment in today's day and age, does not take very long.
No, it does not.
But if you're manually doing it, so you're talking about it jostling as people run, it takes some time.
Okay, here we go. So at 2.5 miles, Cope does a butter check. That's the person from this article that I'm notes the cream is still mostly liquid and keeps churning and burning. It's switched to kilometers. 6.6 kilometers, the liquid starts getting creamy. By 8.6 kilometers, she removes the bag from her vest once and for all and oohs at the curds that is formed. At the end, she spreads the finished product on some bread and eats it. Yes. This is how it's made.
Wow, so really just a 10K.
Basically a 10K and you'll have some butter. It depends on probably your efficiency in jostling. Your inefficiency in running probably makes for better butter.
You know what? I have a few friends that are running a 10K. I'm going to try and get them to make some butter.
And for some people, I mean, I'm not sure if this is actually a cost-efficient way to do anything. But if you're going out and you got some heavy cream, I guess it could make some butter.
I don't know. It seems like a fun little extra thing to have. I mean, you're putting weight on your back, obviously, that you have to account for. But it's kind of a fun thing to where it's like, I'm not just running. You end up with something at the end that's like, this is butter made by my run. Could you imagine marathons, right? Mm-hmm. Few racers decide to butter up.
Uh-huh.
They sell race-exclusive butter at the end.
That would be incredible.
As like they'll shape them, they'll mold them, they'll make a giant statue of the winner, like the Caitlin Clark butter statue.
Yes, absolutely.
Incredible.
Actually, making your own butter, it does taste pretty good. Ethan and I, we made some on Unis Honest way back in the day, but we churned it. We didn't run it. We just did the churning.
Oh, did you have the big manual wooden?
Yeah, with the whole wooden thing. Turns out butter churning is easier the warmer it is. So if you're running on the cold, you're going to need to run farther for that butter to churn properly. But given that it's probably by your back, it'll get warm pretty quickly.
I bet your back gets really sweaty too.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, some people theorize that this is how humans first discovered butter, because they would have milk from animals and they would have the cattle carry the milk on packs, and when they would go on long journeys, it would be like,
butter!
Milk. French caveman, what the? Butter! No.
Butter. Is that better?
Yes.
In cool Olympic news, did you see when the wolf dog joined into the cross-country qualifying race?
I might have. I don't know.
So I'm going to share with you the video.
A family dog got loose and joined a women's cross-country qualifier. He didn't win a medal, but he did cross the finish line and get some scratches behind the ear.
Ah, cutie.
Yeah, yeah. So this is actually the 20-year-old Croatian who encountered the dog on the home stretch. Didn't know what to do, but the local dog made a bid for Olympic glory. It was a 2-year-old Nazgul, is the name. Was quickly collared by race officials and returned unharmed to his home in a nearby bed and breakfast. So apparently the owner of the dogs were related to an event official, which is how the NPR was able to connect with them, but also why they were likely at the event. According to the owner, he was crying that morning before more than normal because he was seeing them leave, and he just wanted to follow them. And apparently found a way to escape and found his way there. And it was a Czechoslovakian wolf dog. Stubborn, but very sweet.
Oh, adorable.
So he just saw people doing something. He's like, I can be here. I like people.
I mean, you can't expect a dog to be any different.
Exactly. Also, really cool thing in the sense of aerials. We talked about in the worst sports for your dick to get whipped out in.
Oh, yes, yeah.
This is how they train for it. Into a pool.
Makes sense, you know? That actually makes perfect sense because how else are you going to do when you're in the middle of summer?
And you can see they're using jets to aerate the water so that it doesn't have the same surface tension, so you're not hitting it like concrete.
Yeah.
But crazy to me is that this pool literally just has the ramps. Like, you can see it's a normal lap pool, but where is this? This is insane.
And how does the sliding compare to snow? I mean, I'm sure that they could try to get it close with some kind of like lubrication or something like that, but I can't imagine they would be identical.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't think it's like wheels. I think it's just airy. Maybe it's like an ice hockey table. Air jets.
If they go water jets, air jets, maybe something like that.
I know they do like surfing techniques and stuff on like moving fake grass and turf. Maybe it's something similar to that, but this doesn't look like it's moving. So maybe it's just a bunch of balls. That could also be it.
Could be, I guess. Yeah. This is why the winter countries actually get advantages and they probably win more medals because they actually have the proper conditions to train all year round. Yeah.
And I know, like, for snowboarding halfpipe and stuff like that, people use a lot of foam pits that they'll inflate and build these giant foam pits for them to then go off, try a trick, and land into as well. But this was the first time I ever saw something in a pool. I can't imagine trying to swim out with skis on.
Yeah, no, I couldn't. But, I mean, do they have a life jacket? Nah, whatever, no matter.
I doubt it.
Oh, this is totally unrelated. I was just looking through Reddit and I saw this post that talks about the Oscars trash. Have you seen any pictures of this?
Oh, I did just see this on TikTok, like the leftover stuff on the ground, right?
So I can proudly say I took my box to the trash can, but there aren't trash cans. I don't know if you knew this. I didn't know this.
That also sounds very on point because that would be something that is not appealing to a photographer or media or something, like something they don't want to have seen.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just because of the venue, but I've never been in the building for anything other than we went to a David Byrne show. I don't even think that we had snacks or anything like that in there. So what this picture is a lot of there was these snack boxes that had like a bottle of water and then like a bag of like Smart Pop and then maybe some candy. So what you see in these pictures is leftover boxes like that. And it's no excuse. You should take your trash with you, of course. I'm not condoning this, but also I'm just like, there weren't trash cans. And the trash can I found like barely big. I had to squeeze this box into it, like tiny mini trash can. I'm like, this seems strange. So it must be just like habit for everyone going here being like, well, there's no trash cans anyway, so the staff will take care of it, which is, you know, not good either. But it's funny because I see that picture. I was like, yeah, I was there, and I was actually wondering that myself. I was like, where are the trash cans? So I had to carry it farther, but I got it in there.
That's also something that I think a lot of people don't know is the fact that there aren't any trash cans, because I wouldn't have thought of that. But there's also plenty of people that attend that event that are not a part of like the general celebrity group. They have a bunch of seat fillers. Usually the upper balcony, which is what the video I saw of was mostly the upper balcony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if there's no trash cans, it's like, where do I take this? And some people, it's like, maybe they're getting pictures afterwards. Maybe they're going to a media event, having that in their hand.
That's no excuse. But at the same time, I kind of get it, but also just to give people an inside scoop of what was actually going on with that.
In other news, there was the bobsled track. Did you see this?
What about it?
An issue with the bobsled track at the Olympics?
No, I didn't see this.
apparently they didn't have ice go up far enough. So everybody who ran on this would catch wood with their upper skis.
How would they not do that?
Apparently this was a massive flaw in the Olympics, and the only people that would realize this and how much this impacts the sport are mostly bobsledders. But I saw this and I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely going to mess people up going into a turn. That's going to have a higher coefficient of friction, and it's bumpier, like the damage to the bobsled, the risk of wrecks, which there were, I think, a record number of crashes in the bobsled runs at the Milan Games. You can see like it's up all the way here, but it's not there.
Yeah, that seems like an incredible oversight that, I mean, you can't really fix that once you're there though, right?
No, and it's like it's just a design flaw, and it's something that they should have realized, I guess, and planned for, which is a lot of things that go into the Olympics. Is a lot of the planning and things, especially when you're at different locations, how you have to make these new facilities or build something that isn't normally there. Luckily, a lot of stuff, at least for the Winter Olympics, is like able to be broken back down because it's ice and it's fabricated and all this different stuff. This in particular is one, it's dangerous because the wear and tear on the sled itself when that happens, and then that increases the chance of that failing, plus catching an edge. Like, I mean, how smooth, these don't even look that smooth.
I mean, probably not meant to be ridden on at all, so yeah.
I think it was meant to be a retainer wall, but they didn't account for how fast people would be coming through this turn and hitting the upper edge. This looks like even a monobob. I don't even think this is a multi-man team.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, so that was definitely an issue in the Olympics in Milan when all of that happened. So one of the other things we already talked about was the guy who announced his cheating.
Who cheated?
Cheating on his girlfriend.
I mean, that's bad too. I'm not like, but
No.
Yeah.
But it was just the trying to win his girlfriend back and stuff like that. But the other thing that the Olympics got in trouble for, and granted, the Olympic rule is no politics at the Olympics. Like, you can't have political stuff on your uniform or insignia or anything like that. It's just your country and your flag. That's what it's supposed to mean. The argument was said that this was political, but it was the Ukrainian Olympian who was disqualified over having images of people who had passed away in the war. And so, I mean, he had his painted with faces of athletes, Ukrainian athletes in particular, who were killed since the invasion in 2022. And he raced in skeleton. But, I mean, what do you do? It's part of his helmet. Is he going to get a new helmet to try and run? And at that point, it's like, it was fine in his qualifiers, it was fine in everything else, but once he got to the games, it was an issue.
It crosses into this line where like, I'm totally on the side that he should be able to have those on his helmet, because it's like, he's not the one politicizing it. The committee is politicizing it by banning it, because it's just like, basically it's people, right? It's these people.
Yeah, he's just honoring people who died.
Yeah, it's people have stories all the time. You get feel-good stories of people like, my wife or my husband died. There's a weightlifter that like his wife passed away and he won gold for her, and everyone was like, feel good about it. But no, just because these people died in war, that suddenly means that it's like, oh no, that's not kosher. It's not good for anybody. It's not good for the sport. And it's not like he wasn't making a speech or anything. He was wearing it.
In his perspective, he was like, I'm competing for them. These are athletes that died that are not going to be able to compete. And so I'm honoring them by having them be a part of my race, my skeleton race, which also the race being the skeleton also is kind of fitting to be able to honor them, because also too, that's the majority of what the camera's seen forward and foremost. I agree with you. I don't think it was political.
Sorry, forward and foremost.
I don't
forward
know.
and foremost.
It's the foremost object in skeleton. Like, it's the front.
I don't know, forward and foremost.
I don't know, man. My brain.
Foremost. Maybe, you know. No, you're right. He's totally right, everybody. Most prominent in rank, importance, and position. I did not know that word.
You didn't know foremost?
No, I didn't know foremost.
Oh, okay. I thought I was very confused there.
Oh, man, he's got it. He's got the vocab.
Yeah, so it's very prominent, and so I don't think it's political, and it's the first part that crosses the finish line. I think it was meant to be meaningful for those families that will never be able to see their athletes or their relative be able to compete. I'm in full agreement with you. I don't think it's political, because there are plenty of people that like, I dedicate this to this person who passed away. It's just, yeah. Those were the main things that came up during the Olympics. Obviously, the Winter Olympics had a lot of really cool things. We know Lindsey Vonn raced through having an ACL tear. Did you see how bad her leg fractured? Oh my God.
Yep.
It is like one of the most extreme fractures. There was somebody on TikTok, an orthopedic surgeon, that was like, this type of fracture, insanely rare and insanely difficult. She has so much metal in her leg now.
Oh, I didn't see the x-ray of it or anything like this.
Oh my God. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It was nuts.
I'm so ready.
That's her leg.
Well, it's hard to tell because...
All the dark marks?
Yeah, I know those are screws, but I can't see the break from all the work in there.
I can get another comparison. This is the post-surgery. Viewer discretion advised.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
There you go.
Holy cow. That is to shreds.
Yeah.
Well, not the leg, the bones, which is worse, honestly.
But you can see, like, there's the kneecap, but, like, it's split here in the back.
How does that even happen?
Skiing at insanely high speed.
Yeah, that is pretty terrible, yeah.
By the way, this apparently was not hers. That's what it says. This is similar.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, then never mind. Whatever.
There was a doctor that kind of talked about it because I guess they didn't have like the actual injury, but it was pretty similar. And you can see in this whole thing right here is a stabilizing instrument put into the like inside the actual bone, I believe is what he said. And then they have a plate here, a plate here, a plate on top. You see all the screws and bolts.
Yeah.
They had to bolt a piece in the back, broke off because that's the anchoring. Those are the rods. That's what the rods look like. And they have it on the side, and you can see it wraps around to the front, and this one going this way. So obviously there was stuff broken off on the outside of the leg, the inside of the leg, and in the back. And a lot of it is towards the top. So you can see that they had to piece together the joint, the actual joint part of the bone here at the top. You can kind of see where it broke here. And they had to piece together all the pieces down here that were broken and off the back. It was intense. You can actually see her in the picture here with the little, there's like an equipment here to keep her from moving it and stuff like that. Very, very intense.
Oof.
But that was a big talk of the Olympics. It was that major crash in airlift and how bad her leg broke. There was another record somebody had for the most Winter Olympic gold medals in a single games. It was a cross-country skier. I forget who it was, but he absolutely dominated all of the events in cross-country. There was a moment, I don't know if you saw this, where 3 racers who were in the front or in the back stopped, lined up together, and had to sprint finish, like a photo finish.
That is cool.
Those were the main things and highlights from the Winter Olympics. I thought they were important to talk about because the Olympics were a big deal this year.
All right. They were a big deal indeed. And then soon it will be, well, the next Olympics will happen in Los Angeles, glorious LA. Don't worry, everybody. The people mover at the airport will be open just in time.
I thought it had opened. Why did it close back down?
There's a big fight between the people that are building it and the people planning the build of it. I don't know the details of it. They're so busy arguing with each other about schedule pushbacks and like contract disputes and things like that, that it's just hanging in limbo. And so now it's scheduled for June, but it's been scheduled to be finished. And what happens is there's a court decision, and then this company comes back and it's like, we're going to fight some more about this. Just throw everybody into the ocean. Everybody in LA, let's pick up a shovel, a cement trowel. Let's finish it ourselves. Let's just all take turns. What are we waiting for?
Hire a new person. Like
it's just absurd. It's like there's contracts for it. So the contracts are like, you are allowed to work. You won the contract. But at this point, it's like this is bad faith. The city should just be like, we're going to blow you all up. We're going to blow up the whole thing. We're going to start over and just get out of here. It's just absurd.
Oh, yeah. The litigation that exists when government office is paying for something versus an independent person. Like if you were building something and somebody had a dispute with you, it's like, fine, I'll just get somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Just don't even, we're just going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know what the deal is, but it is what it is.
All I know is apparently the metro is supposed to be expanded too, and that's a whole thing. There's a lot of stuff that needs to happen. A lot of people seem to be making plans to leave LA and rent out places to people coming in for the Olympics.
I'm sure they will, and I'm sure that will be probably wise for some people to do so, because I've heard the last time the Olympics were here was, when was it? 96. So 96 Olympics were... No, that's in Atlanta. Fuck you, you AI fucking bullshit.
1984 Summer Olympics.
Just the AI is just like, it was in Los Angeles in 96. Wrong.
So they had it in 1932, 1984, and now 2028.
I have not had a chance to ride much of the Los Angeles Metro, but it has been improving, and there are many new lines being built, but it is very slow because LA already exists, and building on top of it is, again, contractual logistical nightmare.
Yeah, I know it's gotten better because the first couple times I took the train, I took Amtrak down to like San Diego for events and stuff. Both times where I went to get picked up, the Metro was stopped because there was an unfortunate crime or instance of disruption that the police had to stop the Metro and intervene, offload everybody, and deal with something. It seems to have significantly improved since that point in time.
All right. Well, hopefully it'll be even better by the time the Olympics are here.
And hopefully this season is even better for all of you listeners and viewers.
Yes, this wonderful season of season 5 that is very different from the other ones.
Yes, completely different.
Completely different.
Completely new hosts, completely new clothes, completely new everything. It's okay. We're the same, but they'll think we're different.
We're going to get a lot of plastic surgery, and we're going to just like change up our entire appearances. Yeah, I hear what you...
We're going to use snap cameras.
We're going to use AI to make us better.
No. But if you want to support the new season of Go My Favorite Sports Team, please go and check out the store.gmfst.com. There should be some new stuff coming out pretty soon. If you want to interact and post episode suggestions, it is the beginning of a new season. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love news. Go to the Reddit, reddit.com/r/gmfst. I know some people have been more active lately. We will get to those as soon as we can. Thank you so much for supporting the podcast, and that's going to do it for us today. Bye.
Bye.